Hey, hey, happy Sunday fun day. Yeah, you right, dog. Welcome to Sunday, May 17th, 2020, and Season 3, Episode 8 of RTHD, Road to Happy Destiny. I am Coach Bear, Coach Glenn the Bear, saying welcome to each and every one of you. I'm here at Casa 15 Hundo in Metairie, Louisiana. Home of the 504, home of the Who Dat Nation. Who didn't know that? Who Dat, baby? I'm excited. It's another beautiful day outside. I'm ready to get started with the show. These episodes are a blast for me to do. And I'm just looking forward to starting off my Sunday with RTHD. You heard me? Hey, we riding? Well, I'm with ya, homie. Let's get started with our Serenity Prayer, once again, the long version. I shall read that for you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. I love that serenity prayer. I hope you enjoy it as well. A couple of people urged me to get back to it, so I'm glad I'm doing it again. I hope you get something out of it. I know that beginning part is the part that most of us all know, but the whole prayer, if you really listen to it, really speaks of some good things. So, I like that. Let's go ahead and get started with our thoughts for today, coming from my cousin Jeb in Lafayette, Louisiana. I had the opportunity yesterday to visit with my cousin Jeb and his lovely wife Jennifer. Wasn't a very long visit, but a visit nonetheless, and I was so happy we got a chance to do that. It was great to see those guys, and looking forward to spending more time with them in the near future. So that's been a great thing with this RTHD experience for me, is reconnecting with the cousins, and I love that they're a part of it. I really, really do. So let's get to those thoughts, shall we? We shall. All right, thought one. Generosity is giving more than you can, and pride is taking less than you need. And we talk about pride here on this show. We mentioned generosity quite a bit as well. So I really like that thought, giving more than you can, and then, because you might be a little too prideful, you don't take as much as you need. And I get that. I can sympathize with that. As I'm sure many of you out there can. Thought number two, once again about generosity. True generosity, you give your all, and yet you always feel as if it costs you nothing. So not necessarily financially generosity is what we're speaking of here, but talking about, giving of yourself, being generous of yourself, and not having a problem with it. And I like that. I try and do things for people. I try and help people out. I have two roommates. I help those guys out all the time. That is me being generous with my time. And we're going to actually put generous into action for today. I bet you saw that coming, didn't you? All right, thought three for today. Once again, about generosity. The most truly generous persons are those who give silently without hope of praise or reward. You come across this all the time. You see where there are benefactors to a project, and you see a gift by anonymous, right? Because they just want to give the gift and not have the recognition for doing so. If you happen to read the Bible, or if you've read the Bible, or heard some stories about the Bible, it speaks in there about, not being the person that prays, out in front of everybody. Hey, look at me praying, look at me praying. but being the person that prays in silence, where you're not looking for the pat on the back. So I like generosity being a portion of today's show, and I hope that you got something from those 3 thoughts. I know I certainly did. It especially made me feel about my generosity with time, right? I'm not in a financial situation where I can give and give and give money, but I can give my time, and that is important. So I feel good about that when I am able to do that. All right, let's take a quick look at our reflections and meditations from the 24 Hours a Day book. I selected 2 items, 1 from each, and here we go with today's reflection. Forgiveness, and we've been talking a lot about forgiveness in the last few episodes of RTHD, Road to Happy Destiny. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others are 2 currents in the same river, both hindered by the dam of resentment. We've been talking a lot about resentment in the last few episodes as well. And, we talk about this all the time, at least I talk about this all the time, that these are things that I personally want to work on. Resentments, getting rid of them. Forgiveness, being able to do a better job with that so I can move on and put things behind me. And so, when you look at that reflection, when I look at that reflection, forgiveness of self, which I've mentioned I've had a hard time with. Not sure about you. Forgiveness of others. I have a hard time with that, but not as much as forgiveness of self. I do forgive others. I think I do a pretty good job of that. I mean, like anything in life, you could always be better. I can always be better at that. And in order for me to be able to forgive not only myself, but other people out there, I've got to be able to get rid of the resentments, man. I can't be hindered by them. I can't be cut off by resentments. And like I said, we've been spending a lot of time in this area over the last few days. All right, let's go to the meditation for today. I must constantly live in preparation for something better to come. Well, I'll speak for me here. I know during this coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic situation that our country and our world is in, I know this. I know that I have been using my time to better prepare myself for something better to come, right? We will get out of this. Not sure exactly when it'll be totally over, if it's ever totally over, but we'll have to learn to adapt to the new norm, right? So, where was I going with this? Preparation. I have been preparing for things to come that are better for me personally than they are today. How? By working on me each and every day. Prior to even starting this series, Road to Happy Destiny, I know that it has been 48 straight days, 48 straight episodes of RTHD, and by doing the show, it reminds me of things that I need to work on, that I constantly need to practice every single day. And so that's how I'm preparing myself for better things to come. And what are you doing? How are you preparing? If you're not, hey, today's a great day to get started, right? We're living for today. We're living in these 24 hours. Win the day, baby. Win the day. All right? So when people ask me, hey, are you really living one day at a time? Is that what you're really doing right now? My only answer can be this. Well, yeah. I love that. Well, yeah. All right. You know what time it is. What's the time? It's time to dive into action, baby. It is that time again. Here we go. Grab your handy dandy into action notebook, your favorite utensil used for writing purposes, or any utensil in that matter shall do. Open up to a brand spanking new page, and let's get our 3 categories set up for today that we shall write upon. Category number 1 is gratitude, as it always is. Category number 2, generosity. Talked about that just a few moments ago. Category 3, a better version of yourself. And all of these are in the day, in today, okay? So gratitude, what are you grateful for today? Generosity, how can you be more generous today? Whether it be with your time or with other forms of help, or even monetarily, whether it's your church or whatever the case may be for you that you like to donate to, or good causes that you may like to donate to. And for better version of me, that's for me, better version of you, what can you do today to make a better version of yourself, not only for today, but going forward as we prepare for better things to come? At least we hope and have faith that better things will come in our city, our state, our country, and our world as we hopefully start to phase out the coronavirus, the COVID-19, the pandemic, and the quarantine situation that we are currently in. All right, so I'm going to go over my list while you jot down your into action for today. For me today, what am I grateful for? Well, some of you may have seen on the FB last night, I got yet another brand spanking new kitten. This kitten is black and gold and ready for the Hoodats, ready for the Saints. She is named Squirt, and got a chance to go pick her up from Lafayette, Louisiana yesterday, bring her home and introduce her to my kitten Precious that I've had for the last 3 weeks or so. And man, we had a great first night together. So I'm very thankful for my brand new kitten, for both kittens, Precious and Squirt. I'm very thankful for Sasha, who was the foster mom for Squirt over these last many weeks. She did a fantastic job, as Squirt has adapted quite nicely to not only being with a new kitten, Precious, but to the house and everything else. She doesn't go run and hide. She's playful and enthusiastic. And these kittens rather, fit right in with the bear. As you well know, I'm pretty enthusiastic also. So that's my gratitude for today, my new kittens, and for where they came from. The foster moms that took care of them prior to me receiving them from Spay Mart for Precious and Spay Nation for little Squirt, little black and gold Squirt. All right, column 2, generosity. How am I going to put generosity into action? Well, I'm going to continue to be generous with my time. That's one of the things I can be most generous with right now. I have 2 roommates, and they often need rides during the day, and I give up my time doing that. When a friend of mine, Sarah, and her husband Spencer, when they give me a call and want me to go throw the baseball around with their son, I am more than happy to give my time to Everett there and working with him. And, you know, for these things, I'm not asking for anything in return. You know, it's a way that I can be generous, a way that I can give of me to others. And so how am I going to be generous today? I'm going to continue to do that. If my roommates need rides, and they will, I'll give them rides. If Sarah or Spencer or Everett gives me a call and want to throw the baseball around a little bit today, I'll be more than happy to do that. I'm going to spend time with my children today, Olivia and Owen. So Generosity with my time is really what I can do right now. And so that's how I'm going to put that into action. How about best version of yourself or best version of me? How am I going to put that into action for today? Let me take a look. Bottom line is this. I am going to continue to prepare daily by continuing to work on myself. And all of what I am doing to try and self-improve takes practice. It takes work. Okay? I don't just do it for a couple of days and boom, I'm there, right? Not for me. Maybe you are, not me. That's not how it works for me. So I've got to keep working on becoming the best version of myself each and every day. And what I do well on one day, I need to continue the next day. What I don't do well one day, I need to work on the next day. So, bottom line, I can sum it up for me at least. How am I going to put that into action? I'm going to work. Doing this show right now at this very moment is how I'm becoming a better version of myself. So hopefully you jotted down some good things for you to put into action today. Don't forget at the end of today's show to write a little reflection on maybe something that stuck out for you today or anything you want to write down as something you would like to remember about today's show or something that you want to put into action each and every single day. All right, now it's time for advice for me. Hopefully it's advice for you as well. Let's see where this takes us today. I'm going to say it as advice for me, and then I'm going to read it again as advice for you in case you like it. Happiness starts with me, not with my relationships, job, money, circumstances, but with me. So, I like that a lot. That works for me. If that works for you, let me read it in that fashion. Happiness starts with you. Not with your relationships, your job, your money, your circumstances, but with you. And that's an important piece of advice for me because I am not going to lie to you. At the end of last school year, I was really starting to get in a place where I felt good and good things were happening. I was in a new relationship. I was starting a brand new job. I was able to help a lot of friends on a daily basis. I was able to attend a lot of these meetings where I seek guidance, advice, and help. And, all of that was going really, really well. But for some reason, I just wasn't happy. Wasn't happy in here, and I wasn't happy in here for whatever the reason may be. And, the bottom line is, I look at that one little piece of advice, and it speaks volumes because I was not happy with me. Okay? And it didn't matter what my relationships were, or my job was, or whether I had money or didn't have money, or whatever my circumstances of trying to do things for others was, I wasn't happy with me. And so I've got to start there before I can worry about those other things that I read. And since the last few months have gone by where I started to live 24 hours a day, one day at a time, win each day, and work on myself, my happiness has increased. My happiness since I started doing this show 48 straight days ago and 48 episodes ago has increased. I love doing this show. It helps me out so much. If it helps you out, I think that's great. Please encourage others because it could help someone else out. You never know. But I tell you what, my happiness level is going up, and it's not a coincidence. We're not in great times right now. And I know a lot of people out there are really down, really depressed, really worried about what is going to come of all this and what is going to happen. And I get it. I have those things too, but they don't consume me. I'm trying to be consumed with working on myself, practicing things I need to put into practice to be a better version of me. And with all of that is coming a greater sense of happiness. And by the way, I'm not going to lie, these two kittens really make me happy as well. All right, it's time for a final thought for today. I hope those items that we did in the show thus far were helpful to you. Final thought is this: wise sayings often fall on barren ground, but a kind word is never thrown away. That can be your generosity. Be as kind as you possibly can. But a lot of times we give advice and it or you hear advice and it doesn't stick in, right? It doesn't stay firmly planted. But when somebody tells me something kind, that sticks in me. That sticks in here, that sticks in here. And I keep it with me. And so I try and do that as well. I try to pass it on or pay it forward, right? By trying to be kind or saying something kind. I've been doing that randomly on Facebook. People I don't know very well, sending them a kind message. Some take it as kindness. Some take it as maybe I have ulterior motives. Not the case. Just trying to spread kindness, spread joy. Okay? And with that being said, hey, I'm reminding each and every one of you out there, be joyful in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be faithful in prayer. Go out today, be joyous. Be happy. Be free. Be in gratitude. Be into action. Have a wonderful Sunday fun day. How did I do on time today? Oh, no. Hey, happy Sunday fun day to everybody. Spread the word for RTHD. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a wonderful Sunday. It was great to be with you. Peace. Hey, love you out there.